Jimmy, how are you?
Good morning. I'm as well as you can be. Getting up at 5 a.m, you'll know about that.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No, but I've had some porridge and a couple of cups of coffee, so I'm ready to rock.
Well, ready to rock after all those years of rocking. That video was fantastic. You were just saying that was filmed where? That last one?
What was that? No doubt. I think we're in the Café de Paris in somewhere in London's West End. It's an old nightclub. It was closed at the time, but they opened it up again and decked it out, so it looked pretty lively. God, 1990, 1992.
What's it like looking back?
Well, I don't often do it. It's interesting, actually. It just takes you back to a time, you know, when you're doing things. And but I don't often look back. I tend to try to look forward all the time.
That's very wise. But the tour is going to have lots of familiar stuff in it, isn't it?
I think so. I haven't actually sat down and worked out what I'm going to do yet. I mean, it's called an evening of stories and songs, so it'll do what it says on the tin. There'll be stories and songs, but as to how we do it, it's only going to be a voice and a piano. So there's only so many permutations as to how you can do that. But I haven't actually sat down and thought about how we'll actually do it. I'll probably give a little bit of context to each song before I perform it. Plenty of songs. I've been at it for. I sat down and thought about it, and I've been at this for 7 decades. No. I started in '69 when I was 15, so that's 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties, teenies, and 20s. Shocking. Great,
though. What a career. And when you say stories and song, I bet there are a lot of stories.
Yes, there are many. But you know what? I'm going to keep them for the people who have bought the tickets. I think that's only fair.
So the people who pay for tickets.
Actually, do you know what? I was thinking about it. The reason I'm doing this tour is Steven Spielberg, believe it or not.
OK.
Have I got time to...
All the time in the world.
So
go on.
About
Steven Spielberg, yes.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg said... So about 10 years ago, I was in New York working on a musical. And I'd met Mr. Spielberg a couple of times, and I saw him at a function, and we were talking, and he said, how's the musical going? And I said, well, it's going. It could be going better, but it's going. And he said, you know what you should do? I said, what's that? And he said, take it to the people. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, don't wait for them and expect them to spend hundreds of dollars on an airfare to get to New York, and hundreds of dollars on hotels, hundreds of dollars on theatre tickets. Take it to them. I said, OK. So we went on to say what we should do. And he thought what we should do is mount 2 productions and have one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, and Sting would play the character of Jackie White, the character I was playing at the time. Sting would play Jackie White on one coast, I'd play him on another coast. We'd go up and down the East and West Coast, and you know, he said, it'd be fantastic. So I said, well, it's a bit above my pay grade, but I'll pass it on. And it didn't happen, but I never forgot that idea of taking it to the people. So this is an attempt to take it to places that tours normally bypass, smaller, more intimate venues. Well, just venues, not the big venues that the tourers normally route, because it's so expensive to go on tour. I tried to do this a couple of years ago, and I just couldn't make it work. The logistics, the cost with a band, it was impossible. I was going to come out in the red. But this time, with a voice and a piano, we can just on in July.
Got a bit of time.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's always nice to get out on tour. It is nice to do that. I enjoy that.
Are you maybe a bit too distracted by the football at the moment?
Yeah. You know, if you've been a supporter as long as I have, I mean, I started going up there when I was 10, and I'm 71 now.
Who do you support, Jimmy?
Newcastle United.
Okay, just for people who don't know.
Yeah, but I've been going up there for 60 years, so you learn patience.
Yes.
But patience these days is in short supply. But you just have to be patient. Eddie will get it right.
Is that your wisdom for the day?
Yeah, be patient, you know. We'll get there.
That's a great point to stop. Let's hold that thought. Be patient, everybody. Jimmy Nail, it is great to talk to you. And Jimmy's tour, which is an evening of stories and songs, starts in July when he's got his head around what he's going to do. Breakfast.